Oh, we are recording and you guys are idiots. Hey guys, welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson. To my loyal viewers and listeners, this podcast was normally about me having my friends on and talking about things that we're struggling with. But since everyone's struggling with the same thing, COVID, race wars, we might have our first president die in office. There's a lot going on. We don't know what's going to happen. So there's a lot of things to talk about. So we're just going to, brighten your day and have you laughing about some stuff with my friends. To my, I said that to my loyal. You guys already knew that. To my new people, that's what the podcast was about. Not my loyal. You guys, let me drink this. I haven't had my caffeine yet. Hold on. So stupid. I'm so stupid. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, we're on all podcast platforms. Rate and review us on iTunes. I'm also posting these videos on YouTube, my personal YouTube channel. I'll be posting that link. And last but not least, if you are listening to this regularly and you are not sharing the love and telling someone about it, then you're not doing your due diligence, and pay it forward. Now I'm going to introduce my fantastic co-host who is mustacheless for the first time in months. Everyone, Mal Hall.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Unfortunately for a lot of you, I'm still here. My website, malhall.com, social media at malhall TV on YouTube. I shaved the mustache this morning.
Why? Was it to the heat?
No, just because I was like, it was at a point where I had to start shaping it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, not in the mood.
Much.
And I can get the mustache back whenever I want. I just have to take, 2 weeks, whatever, and I'll have the same mustache. So
just give it by 5 p.m. that same day, and it'll be back.
yeah, basically.
It'll be back by the next time we record. Now,
who's our guest?
Let's introduce our very funny comedian guest, Dave Merheje.
Hey.
Yay, Dave. Where can everyone find you on social media?
I think Instagram. Well, not I think. Instagram.
You need to have some caffeine too. Drink up, my friend. Drink up.
It's at Dave Merheje. But I have to warn you though, I was doing laundry, so the buzzer might go off for the dryer. It's gonna go off. I don't want no weird sound, and then you're like, well, both of you are like, what is that? And that's the dryer. If it comes out of nowhere, which it will.
Which it will.
Yeah.
Because you timed your laundry appropriately today to make sure that it goes off right in the middle of the podcast, which is what I was hoping for. I love when I have people that it's just spontaneous. We just go with it, Sometimes
Dave's
you never know what you're
like,
going to hear.
Dave's going to be like, that's all the time I have left, folks. Sorry. I have to go hold my colors now.
It just didn't dry before I checked it before I jumped on. I was like, oh, shoot, it didn't dry. So I was like, damn it. I could have held off, but then I got paranoid.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you have right now, are you flexing right now? Just letting people know you have an in-unit washer dryer? Was that a flex? Was that a laundry flex?
Yeah, I guess no, not really. Because I remember having it in one in LA, and then I had a roommate, and she was like very, very hot. And friends would come over and they're like, do you have you, or are you gonna have sex with her? I go, I'm not losing this in dry. There's no
I can't fuck this up.
No, I watch one item at a time sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because
That's a flex. That's a flex. That's a LA flex for sure.
Well, you can't go back. Once you have, I have an in-unit as well, and I, at one point was looking for other places to live, a long time ago when I just couldn't bear it with my roommate at the time. But then I was like, Hans, what are you doing? You're in a rent-controlled place with a unit. You're going to wait this out. And I did. Yeah. And both of those, I've seen another roommate since that first roommate, and now I've got the place all to myself. And like you, I just be doing laundry all day. Like,
Yeah.
just because I can. And I don't have porters I need to use. There's no roommates or anybody I got to worry about. Just all day,
Yeah.
keep that dryer going. I took the knob off, actually, just so that it keeps going.
I got addicted to, in New York, you can go and drop it off and pick it up. And when I was living there, I got addicted to that. I was like, there's no way I can
Wonderful.
go to the machine.
Wait, you got addicted to going to drop it off?
Yeah, like I stopped doing laundry like myself. I would just drop it
Oh.
away, and then but I got addicted to that. And then a friend was like, why don't you just go to the dryer and wash or do yourself? And I just was like, no.
That's
Who
for
does that?
peasants.
Yeah. I want to be with them. I'm not doing it.
That's so pedestrian. How dare you even suggest? What I get scared about with dropping off my laundry to other people, because it's so intimate. I don't know how I feel about other people sorting through my panties.
No, I had my stuff stolen. That's why too I didn't go. And I thought
Who steals drugs?
I thought it was a friend that my friend was like, I'm gonna come pick you up to go to the show. And he's like a prankster. So when I went to get my laundry, it was gone. Because I had told him, I'm doing laundry. He knew where it was. So I thought he pranked me because the items, they stole like one pair of socks. Like it just didn't match.
Yeah.
What kind of thief is just stealing like 2 underwear and socks? So
There's a
It's a
sock
fugitive
bandit.
on the run.
Yeah.
It was a fugitive. He's like, I just need one pair of socks. I need to get from Brooklyn to Queens. Let me get one pair of
Just
socks.
Just one sock.
at the end, he was so mad. He goes, I can't believe you thought I stole your laundry. I go, I'm sorry. Because it was like all night. Like I was grilling him. And then he was like, this is really like, you think I would stoop to that level? I go, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Right, yeah. But, very hurtful when someone takes your laundry. So
That's hilarious.
Wait, are you guys still friends after the laundry accusation?
no, we are not friends for other reasons. Because the thing is, I've been robbed and pistol whipped before. And
What?
money stolen. Yeah. So, but laundry hurt more for some other reason.
It's personal.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, well, do you mind I want to hear about that story. Do you mind telling that story? Or
Yeah,
is it too
No,
painful?
it happened like a long time. It was like 2016. I was in LA like for 5 or 6 months. It was where the Improv Hollywood is, like where there was a hostel there like next to it. And then it was like you'd walk up to Santa Monica and there's a 7-Eleven. That's where we like go to get stuff. But that night I was seeing a girl, and then I think she was like cheating, which she probably was. And I was in the right mind state, and I was going to a friend's house. And when I called her, I was like, I'm going to go get Tylenol here. I have a headache. She goes, no, why don't you go to the 7-Eleven by my spot? So as I was walking there, he looked like a kid. They both looked like kids. They didn't look like grown men. But one was walking towards me on like an angle on the street. I was just weird. And I see his hand is like near his, like on his leg. I can't identify what's in his hand, but as he got closer, I was like, that's a gun. But I obviously can't say that.
Oh, no.
Super weird. And then he just pulled up and he's like, give me all your money. And he just had the gun to my temple. And I just was like, I couldn't talk and stuff. But I was giving him like lint. By the end of it, I was just so scared, like whatever was in my pocket.
Say whatever you want, right?
Yeah. And then he turned the gun around and smacked me in my head. I didn't fall. His boy came and kicked me. And then I like kind of stumbled to the street. I think they said, they said, we're going to shoot you or just run. I just remember it was like, well, okay, they're going to shoot me in the back, whatever the case is, I'm dead. So I just started, I remember I was like, oh, you should just zigzag.
That's what we learned. That's what we learned from watching Boys in the Hood. Ricky ran, and the guy in the car shot straight. I'm like, "Boy, you a football player? Got a zigzag."
Yeah. And then they were robbing hostel kids. I found out because someone else got jacked, and they're like, "You should go to the LAPD." And then I remember sitting in there. I didn't have my green card on me. I was just there, like kind of like hanging out, which you're allowed to for like 6 months. But part of me was like I grew up in like this like suburbs, but I was like, I'm not snitching. I was like, I don't want to be a part of that life. And I was like, I'm not going to be the one that tells, man.
You weren't going to snitch even when they threatened your life.
No.
Wow.
The suburbs already have a bad reputation, Candice. He wasn't gonna add to that shit by being just one more snitch.
I felt, well, it was like Middle Eastern. I'm Middle Eastern. I don't know if that played into it. I was like, no, I don't. I'm like, that's not for us.
Yeah.
Look, I'm black, and I'd have been like, it was him, officer, and it was him. You see that one right there with the hoodie on? The one that looks threatening as fuck? Him, he did it.
Officer, I can describe him exactly.
My fear is that like they'd come back at me. You know what I mean? I watched the movie, so I was like, well, what if they just found me? Like, you know, because I remember when I was a kid, I would fight with this one kid all the time, and like we would beat each other's asses, and then he disappeared, and then he came back, but he was in jail, and then I was, and he, when I saw him, he was like, you good? Not you good, but he gave me that look of like, yo, we could do this again.
Right.
No.
I got new skills, Dave.
Yeah. We not taking your lint this time, motherfucker. You better have some better shit.
I clear up all vendettas now. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like, no loose ends on my end.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. How long ago did this happen? I'm happy you're okay.
2006 or 7, I guess. It was around that time. It just like for a while I couldn't walk. I had a hard time walk. If people were behind me on the street,
yeah,
I was like, I'm not having that. So I'd cross the street. It was just very on the edge for like a while.
Damn. And that's West Hollywood? That was West Hollywood where that happened. You're talking about the improv? Yeah.
Yeah, I used to hang out with Michael DeBay and Faquan Fu from LA.
Ooh, I know both those dudes. Yeah, both ridiculous people. Yeah.
And when I told them I got robbed, they were like, where? Like, it wasn't like a concern. They're like, what happened? Like, it just felt like they were like, okay, share. Like, it was like we were talking about an album that came out. Like, it was a concern. It was like, so how did it happen? What's going on?
Wait, are you sure it wasn't them that robbed you? Because I know Michael DeBay.
I know Michael DeBay too. But Fu also at that time was falling asleep everywhere I saw him, he would pass out. Like he would just nod off. I don't know if he was just working too hard. So I was like, I don't think he
From all of his late night robberies, it sounds fine.
Who fell asleep at an open mic we were doing? I look over and he's passed out. Like he was like the second row. And like, I was like, this guy just blatantly fell asleep in front of in this cafe.
That sounds like Fu. I haven't seen Fu. I gotta have him on the podcast. I haven't seen him in a very long time, but last time I saw him, I think that was the last time I saw him, was he had a roast for his birthday, like maybe 5 years ago. And I did that. And I learned, that's the day I learned, I was like, oh, Black people don't really like roasting. Like the idea of it, I think, is not really for Black people. Like, how can I explain this? But it's like, you know, which is surprising to me, because every time we were up there roasting, like Jamar did it too, we were up there like roast, and we had good jokes written for him, and the crowd was just like, ooh. And I'm like, have y'all been to a roast before? Like, you know what happens? And which is interesting, exactly. But what's interesting is that, you know, Black people, we the ones that invented the dozens, right? Like your mama, it's like capping and snapping on people. So that's why it's very interesting. I think maybe the idea that it's too formal.
It's a different dialect. It's like white people's version of snap it, which is like, they don't like it. Yeah.
Well, white people's roasting, I feel, is always about like dead people. They're like, oh, then your brother died. You're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Too soon, Larry.
It's either that or about abortion. It's always like these edgy, like, why?
It is. And actually, I listened to a roast back from probably when roasting first started with like the Rat Pack. I listened to one of Malcolm Gladwell's episodes, and it was about Sammy Davis Jr. And how some people would have considered him, a lot of Black people considered him like a coon because he was like stepping and fetching for white people. But, you know, I mean, and basically his perspective, Malcolm's perspective was like, back then there weren't that many Black celebrities. So like he kind of had to do what he had to do to get his foot in the door at least. So we need to fall back with the judgment. But they played a clip from one of the roasts that they did, and the jokes that they were saying about Sammy.
Yeah, I can. It's
like the most racist shit. Like I started crying. That's how bad it was. I was like, oh, and he had to just take it from his friends. Like, you know, these are your family, like your friends, but they were still racist as fuck. And back then, Jesus. So yeah, I think that may have something to do with it too. Like just the idea, like it came from, like that's where it started, and Black people were the target in a lot of them, in not a nice way. So
Right.
Yeah. I just feel white people always, not all obviously, but just like they just go for that morbid. So why do you gotta go so morbid? Like you could start off slow and then go, like they're just very
AIDS. Hold on. Hold up, really quick. That's the
open way.
and the punchline. What the fuck just happened?
If either of you have like gone to any live roast battles or watched any roast battles, you see like the women that get like all the rape jokes thrown at them.
Oh yeah, I've been on. It's
rape jokes for like women who were actually raped, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna take these bullets, and you gotta keep moving. It's rough. Yeah.
I'd rather roast somebody. I'd rather roast an enemy. That's why I can't get into it. I need to be like fully in war with you to motivate.
I have to hate you.
I have to hate you.
Yeah, it's tough. But even when doing, what's interesting is that I understand why the purpose of doing it, because I guess the spirit of roasting is like a loved one, we're family, like we have these inside jokes. But then roast battle kind of changed that, because then we started roasting people we didn't even know. Yeah. And that's where it became mean to me. It was like, oh, I'm just looking up stuff about this person, this complete stranger, just to demolish them. And I don't even have I felt like dirty after I did my first one that I did. And then the second one that I did was on television, so I got paid for that one. But I felt a little less dirty about that one. But the first one, I was like, oh, I don't feel good. I didn't like this feeling. I just was mean for no reason.
I feel a lot of them also never been punched in the face in real life.
Yes.
True.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've been punched out quite a few times. And it's just like, it kind of, in your head, you're like, you're like, well, I shouldn't go this far. Like, this, sometimes I watch kids and I'm like, man, sometimes they also look like they've been in a basement for like 30 days and then they come out and start roasting. It's just very, very isolated and dangerous.
I went to a handful of those roast battle shows, and every time I sat in the back and I was just like, how could you, first of all, for every 2 jokes that I found to be funny and entertaining, there's like 15 where I was just like, number 1, why would you say that out loud? Number 2, how did you think about that? Number 3, you thought that was going to be hilarious? And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Brian is like, Mal, do you want to do roast battle? Fuck no, dude. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I will say that it did help a lot of people like get their foot in the door, as far as like, I mean, it's great for joke writing, and it was a good thing for like networking purposes. And like, I know people that have gotten writing jobs, because if you can write roast jokes, you can write a solid joke. And so I know that it did help a lot of people with their career. But the time has passed. Let's move on. It's just me. But wait, Dave, I wanted to circle back. You said you've been punched in the head numerous times.
Yeah, the one time was a pretty bad story. It's like, it's not politically correct, because it's like, this is like a long time ago when I was a kid. I'm 40 years old. I'm like a teen now. Or no, I was in college, and me and my friends were out in my hometown, which is it's Windsor, Canada. It's on the border of Detroit. But the Strip in Windsor was like a party town, because our legal drinking is 19, whereas Americans was 21. Yeah. So we would get 19-year-old Michigan kids and Ohio kids come over, party, fights would break out. It was like crazy at some points. I'm walking with my boy, and I'm young, and I see like a small person like dancing in the rain, and I've never seen one in our town. Like, I know it sounds ignorant, but I've never seen
an actual little person.
Dancing in the rain. I'm wasted, so I go, I've never seen this. And we kind of just walk over in that area because we thought he was busking. Like, I didn't know. Maybe he has a hat next to him. So he was with his friends, and one of his friends punched my boy like dead ass in the mouth, like so close. And my boy was so wasted that he just kind of like didn't fall. He just went, like one of those. And the guy goes, stop looking at our friend. And we were like, oh shit, we didn't know this was your boy. And then it just, there's like a bunch of them and 2 of us, or 3 of us. And it starts to like get hectic. And the girls they were with jump in and start screaming at us, but it's raining also. So I slip on the street. And when I got to the ground, one of their guys came up, sat next to me, and like clocked me. Like, he was like this, like right here. my glasses went flying, and now we're just getting outnumbered. And my boy now is in the middle of the road with the guy that hit him originally, and they're like a standoff. And I'm like, we're gonna lose bad. But there was a guy that we went to high school. I went to elementary and high school with him, Sal Chem, this Cambodian guy. He sees us across the street.
Oh no.
He just starts running across the street to help Hugo, but he jumps in the air and does like Liu Kang combat kick. I've never seen anyone and kicked the guy in the fucking chest. And when he landed, he just went, like this weird chant. And then everyone ran. We're like, what the fuck is that guy? That guy's insane. So Sal like saved him.
He jumped through the air in the rain in slow motion.
And I saw him like years later in doing a show. He moved to another part of Canada, and I was with him, and I go, bro, do you remember when you drop kicked that guy in the chest? And he wasn't even impressed. He goes, I think. Like, I was like,
that's just a Tuesday. I do that literally once a week. That's not a big deal. The moral of the story is everyone have an Asian friend.
Yeah. And me and him had beef too when we were kids, because he bit my transformer, like ripped it off, and I hated him since. So I think that was a redeeming point.
Wow. That kid.
Are amazing.
The kid that eats toys is just waiting to kick someone as an adult. That's for sure.
That was built up for years. Wait, so it was your first time seeing a little person?
Yeah, like in person, like yeah. And
yeah.
I think was, back now it's probably, I would get in trouble for, I would be ignorant, whatever the case. But I think back then I was like a college kid. I was like, what is this kind of thing?
My sister just told me, I think when I was home, which was in June, that she had never seen a little person in real life. And I was like, what? And we're talking about like now, like we're grown ass adults. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, and it's not like I see them every week, but I guess also being in comedy, because we have at least like 4 or 5 little people that do stand up. So I guess I'm just so used to right at the store, like regularly.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then I had to think about it. I was like, I don't remember ever necessarily seeing, because they live in Ohio, Cincinnati. And I was like, I can't remember ever necessarily seeing one in Cincinnati.
That's what I mean. You don't see in certain places. So it was wild. I don't mean to be ignorant, but we were just enthralled.
No, I bet. And you were young?
Well, and he was dancing in the rain. I mean,
yeah. This is all like
if that's the first time you see a little person, that is something to behold. I
thought he was busking too. I was like, yo, he might be doing some like poetry. I don't know what he was doing.
Wait, what is busking? You said busking. I don't know what that is.
Like when buskers like put a hat down and they just start doing any kind of form of art.
Oh, that's called
like
busking?
Street performing.
Oh, I didn't know they had a term for that. Busking.
They have like festivals called the Buskering Festival or something.
Dave was trying to do a good thing. He was like, yo, I got an extra $5. We're wasted. Let's go watch this show.
Yeah.
And we'll just give him $5.
And he's like, I'm not a show. I'm just dancing.
Well, do you want $5 or not? Because I'm enjoying the show.
You try and tip him. He's like, I'm just dancing.
Oh my gosh.
We are all.
I've never seen a musical in real life.
He's like, for the last motherfucking time, I'm just dancing. I'm just dancing.
2, 3, 4. Are your buddies gonna start dancing or not?
Oh my God, we're all going to hell. Now, so you're in Toronto right now, right, Dave?
Yeah.
How long? And you're working on your shooting stuff there? Are you working on stuff? How long are you there?
I'm there. I filmed a few things this past week. So I'll be here till like January because my family.
Oh wow.
They're in like Windsor. So instead of flying back to LA and then coming back to quarantine, I was like, I'm just gonna stay here.
Is quarantine in Toronto better than what you were experiencing in LA, or is it kind of like the same thing? Are people taking it as seriously there?
Oh yeah. You can't like, you have to, I got a call from the government like 4 days in they check where you are. They send you
The
an email.
government.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't play around with the 14 days.
Yeah, no. So
Yeah,
wait. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, I think it goes without question that they're taking it seriously there because we haven't even heard about Canada coronavirus at all. Like that's one of the countries where it's like it's definitely there, but they have an adult running the country, so they handled it. And now people seem to be fine.
The
Right.
cases are going up here. But they're going into like, they're taking every day they'll come up with like, they put up restrictions already. Like they're like, we're not doing this anymore. It's very like right away. Like it doesn't linger. Like I know the American president was, he's like, like, he does kind of like, our prime minister was on. I didn't see the whole thing, but he just kept saying, we must take a flu shot. And I just thought that was the funniest thing ever. He just kept like, what a dad. What a real
Trudeau.
Now I want to say congratulations because you guys got a third season of Ramy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's dope news. And
Yeah,
you guys, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying we're all excited, I'm assuming. I know a few people are excited. I'm
Everybody's excited.
Everybody's excited, man.
Who was it? Was it Ramy that was nominated for the Emmy, or was it the show that was nominated, or both?
No. Ramy won a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Comedy. He was nominated for Best Actor in a Comedy, nominated for Best Director in a Comedy, and then he was nominated for Best Supporting Cast for an Emmy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But
the show wasn't nominated.
The show wasn't nominated. Got it. That's fantastic. I just, I haven't seen Ramy in a long time. He was supposed to come do shows at Whitney's place with us, but I think he's like, I got nominated. I won a Golden Globe. I'm not doing comedy at somebody's house.
No, I've seen him do, what's it called? I've seen him do Paula Leah's show, so I'm pretty sure he might have been busy.
He might actually come through. But that's the low-key outside show. Yeah, that was fun. Paul, all right, I want to talk about, I don't know if you got a chance to watch, I know Mal did, and it doesn't matter either way, but The Social Dilemma, have you seen that on Netflix at all?
Yeah, I did. I saw it during quarantine here. It's like another comic was like, you should watch this, and we watched it. I watched it, but yeah, it's pretty fucked.
It is, but honestly, I feel like I don't think I learned anything that I didn't already know or suspect of social media. It was just kind of like, but I also felt there was an agenda there as well. But Mal, you are off social media. Is that why you watched this documentary and you got off social media because of this documentary, or was that something you were going to do anyway?
So I watched Social Dilemma, and it just brought to light some things I already knew. So like notifications I've had off for like probably 2 years because I read something about how they program social media to be just like slot machines, and the reason why people that are addicted to gambling sit on those slot machines is because there's a purpose, like the way they do it. So I turned notifications off a long time ago. But in this time, I have found myself, especially isolated, moving to the country at my mom's house, just scrolling on Instagram and not feeling good about myself. And I was like, well, this is not productive. So I just 30 days off, just turned it off.
Yeah.
So I feel fine.
You're gonna get back on though after 30 days?
Well, I think if I have stuff to promote, then it's worth being on there. But if there's nothing going on, there's like kind of no reason to be on there.
I mean, but what about conspiracy theories? You got to search for those things.
That's your thing, Candice.
Where are you gonna find? How are you gonna know if JFK Jr. is actually coming back if I don't search on my Instagram?
You'll tell me, I'm sure. You'll send me the link. Mal, have you seen this shit?
Dave Dave, I don't see you posting too much on Instagram. Are you on there a lot, or maybe you're just not showing up on my feed because we haven't
Really?
interacted enough? Yeah.
No, I think I post, but not. It depends when. Sometimes if I'm gonna try to roll something out, it'll be excessive, and then I'll just kind of wean off for a while. But like I'm not posting. I guess I'm not posting as much because you're not the first person to say that. And then I'm like, well, I think I was being active, but I guess not. So the people have spoke.
Well, I don't post a lot either, and I honestly don't know what a lot is anymore. I just don't know what that means. I don't know how often we're supposed to be posting as people, as public, figures. But what scared me watching it was how much it was into the psychology, like the human psyche. That's what scared me a little bit. Like I know that they're listening to us, and I know that they, if you like something, then it'll send you an ad about it, which is creepy as fuck. But like, they know our brains, like these people running these companies, like know how our brains work. And it's kind of like, oh, like that could go dark really quickly.
It's a part of me feels like, that is a possibility that was going to happen. Like, with all this information and data, like it was like somebody was going to do it. There had to have been somebody in an office going, this is the way we can capitalize and make more money. Like, it doesn't seem so foreign to me that it would end this way. Like you have this ultimate product and you're like, well, how can we spin it to get like so much money? And because I took advertising and marketing in college. And that was one thing where I obviously was going to do stand-up and acting since I was like a kid, but I was like, oh, I don't feel comfortable even like pursuing this career because they would teach you how to like psychologically get into people's brains so that you can get them to fall in love with a product, not just like a product. So then you fall in love with it because, I've fallen in love with a girl before. You just start doing wild shit and you come to 7 months later, you're not with the person. You're like,
right.
Tell you all the shit you did. You're like, yo, I did that. And then you're like, hey, you wore a bow tie, bro. I go, I could see just falling for products and you're just constantly buying them. Like, like you're like, well, okay. And you become so loyal to whatever brand is, and when I watched it, I was like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah.
This makes sense. I don't think it's good, obviously, but I mean, then the other side is the people telling me that it ain't good also have an agenda, like you said.
Right.
I know this person's probably trying to figure out how to make money off of me getting off of this.
For sure.
Yeah, read my newspaper. You don't need to be on the social media. Subscribe to my newspaper.
You start reading newsletters now?
It's so, clearly you could watch that. I was like, oh, this is definitely like a left skewing production. Like they were talking, towards like the middle to the end, like they started talking about like fake news. And then they, of course, were like, the subtext was like QAnon, these QAnon conspiracy theorists, and like, don't listen to what they're saying type thing. It's just interesting to me because it's like everybody has their own fucking agenda, and like, go ahead.
I mean, even when you watch the Facebook movie, like they did, I don't know how true it was, but you're like, well, this guy's a fucking psychopath. Like this guy formed the whole thing based on, I think, getting dissed by a girl, which is insane. And then he just like
psycho, for sure.
Pushed his friends aside. Do you think he's gonna fucking not push any agenda if he just chucked his main friend out the way to make more money? I was like, yeah, you have to get to, I do feel like if you're in those billion-dollar positions, you have done grimy shit.
That's
like,
exactly how I feel.
A billionaire, you do meet billionaires that are obviously like, yeah, I'm a good person, but
they're not. They're not. There's no way. You don't get, and I've talked about this before, like, I think people don't understand how much $1 billion is. There's no need for you to have $1 billion. Like, it's a ridiculous, I would venture preposterous amount of money. And now they're saying Jeff Bezos is about to be the first trillionaire. He's this close to being our first trillionaire. Well, I'm like, that shouldn't happen. You do not get there by being a good person. Like, you just, and it's completely, I think there should be like a law of like, if you get to that level, you then have to give back. You have to give back because there's no reason to have that live here in a place where there's people. So I mean, I walk out the door and I see all these homeless people, and it's getting to the point where it's like somebody seriously needs to do something, and there's no reason to have that guy walking around and these people. It's infuriating.
And he looks like Lex Luthor.
He is our Lex Luthor. I've said that before. My nephew started saying that, and I was like, he is our Lex Luthor. 100%. I watched a video of Mark Zuckerberg drinking water, and it was the creepiest thing I've ever seen. He looked like a robot. He was like this.
How does he drink water?
He was like this. It looked like it was his first sip of water like he's ever had in his life. It was like.
But he wasn't like, whoa, that's fantastic.
No, it was no like it was no audio. Like he didn't, but it was very robotic. I'm not sure he's human. I'm not sure he's a person. I want to talk about another thing. I've been watching some, like, how am I even being productive? Because I'm just watching so much television. I've been watching, I hear birds. That's a nice background. Who is that, Mal? Is that you? Or is that Dave?
Yeah, it's the microphone on the computer. So yeah, it's a beautiful day out here in San Diego. Sun is shining, birds are chirping, white people are jogging and playing frisbee. It's a great day.
But it's hot. It's like 95 degrees.
It's like 91 in the shade, though.
Jogging weather. No. I've also been watching on HBO this documentary it's a series called The Vow, and it's about that cult NXIVM. Are you guys familiar with this?
My friend told me.
Oh man. So, I mean, I don't want to get too specific in talking about this cult. I just want to talk about cults in general because I'm always fascinated by cults. I'm super fascinated by it. Oh.
1 sec, sorry.
Is that your laundry?
That's the dryer. That's the dryer.
That's my mom.
Is it really?
Yeah. She calls a lot, which is great, but I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I apologize. It might pop up.
It might pop up. There's a lot of audio going on this episode. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to leave it as is.
Quiet down, birds.
What if they were like...
What if they shut the fuck up immediately?
Birds have no chill. Birds, this happens frequently, but I mean, I guess not so much anymore because I get up kind of early now, but birds will on the regular. They do not give a fuck. They're like, we up, you up. They just perched outside your window. They don't give a fuck. One time I heard birds just outside going back and forth style. Like, it sounded like a roast battle. Like they were just going back and forth. And I'm like, you motherfucker. I'm sorry. But anyway.
I live, Dave, so I moved to my mom's house outside of San Diego. It's in the country. And my mom's house is between, like, her two neighbors. Each have roosters, chickens. So we get woken up at the crack of dawn, fucking farmer style, every day.
Wow. That's what an alarm clock.
Yeah.
It's nature's alarm clock.
Yeah.
I think about that, and I think about, did you guys ever see My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How, like, they were in the sticks, and then every day there'd be some different annoying sound that woke them up. It'd be like a train going through, or another day it's like an owl.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, in New
It'd
York,
be like that.
waking up by Dominican men, I think.
In New York? In New York?
Yeah, or like a couple fighting. It was always that. It was always like, come on, girl, no, please.
That's what I call black noise. White noise, when you got the birds chirping, when you hear a couple fighting over sausage and bacon frying, you're like, oh, that's black noise. They don't have, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to cults now because I'm fascinated. But Okay, so Nexium, I'll just really briefly explain what Nexium, that was a cult that was like kind of like a multi-level marketing style cult.
Yeah.
So there's this guy named Keith Raniere who's the head of it. It's this organization that's supposed to be about like helping you achieve your goals, motivational. So, and he's got a bunch of different chapters, like they're located throughout, I think there's one in Vancouver. It's located throughout the US. But there's this, and they have like different, I don't know what the word is. I guess I'm going to call them departments for lack of a better word. Different departments within this organization. And there's this one specific department that was all women. It was, you could only be a woman to get in. And they were like brainwashing the women and they were branding them like physically with a hot brand, like, and told them that it was like, something like the elements, like, oh, this brand is like, these are the mountains, this is the water, this represents the water. And it was just this motherfucker's initials. Like the guy, Keith Raniere, the owner or the head of it, it was his initials. And there was an actress named Allison Mack, who was also, I think she might be going to jail if she's not already there. But anyway, she was an actress on that show, Smallville, that Superman show back in the day. But yeah, so she was involved, she was like luring the women in.
Wait, which one was she in Smallville?
She's a blonde chick. Not the really pretty one, Kristen Crook.
Oh, I know the girl. That's crazy.
But wow. Kristen Crook was in there. She was a part of Nexium. But they had a lot of actors and actresses in that. They would just recruit, like, and they had people that were already part of the entertainment industry, and they would go and just bring more actors and actresses in. But yeah, Kristen Crook, she's not a part of it anymore. She got out a long time ago. But that chick, Allison Mack, the blonde chick, she was definitely, I think she definitely faced criminal charges, but I don't know where it's at right now. But they were like literally they've got these scars and it's like right by their vaginas too. And these women, a lot of them were married and they were branding them and in order to like have sex with Keith, like the head guy who was like this dork. But anyway, I'm looking at the cult and I'm just like, white people love getting lured into cults. Is it just me? But it's never a lot of people of color ever in these cults. It's always white people. Why?
People of color are raised different though. People of color are raised
more dubious. We don't trust anything. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, even I feel if it was a Middle Eastern person, they bargain too much. Like you just be like, you can't recruit an old Arab man. He's just gonna be like, well, what about this? You're like, shut the fuck, like this is too much. I think it's like what you said. My mom would not that my mom instilled distrust, but she was such a worrier, and she'd be like always being like, watch for this, watch for that. And I also, if a motherfucker told me to wear the same clothes as 200 people, I'm done. You lost me there. I'm like, I ain't with these robes. I'm done. So, and also I just.
But you get to have sex with this lady right here, Dave.
Maybe when I was 21, but like at 40, no. That prize ain't.
Sorry, you missed thirsty me. I'm good now.
This guy did do it right, though. This guy did it right. Because normally when I've seen, like, footage of cults, the people aren't very attractive. But this guy, because he had the actors and actresses, so you got a group of very attractive people that you wouldn't mind having sex with. But, yeah, that was the first time I'd seen, like, because normally I'd be like, they look homely. They look like sister wives.
It's right. It's like always weird to me when they're like, this is the higher power. Look at this, you can do this, be kind. And then they go, and do you want to fuck? You're like, why do you gotta bring fucking into this? It just ruins everything.
That was what I was gonna, that's a huge red flag. And I'm like, do they think that they're just part of an organization or a religion? Because I'm like, the red flag for me is the dude that wants to fuck everybody. Like, once you hear that, you're like, I think I'm in a cult.
It's weird. You could be like talking to a girl and I'm like, I want to fuck. And she's like, no, you're not getting near me. And you're like, okay, but if I formed a cult, like, I don't understand. Then me in a bar trying to like have sex with you is so wrong. But like some weirdo looking, dumb looking white guy, always some dork. Like some guy that you would, if you talk to him at a cafe, you'd be like, I'm calling the police. and they always have
Yeah.
fucked up teeth and like just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what that is what they have to do, because it's a power thing. I guarantee every cult leader is some dude who couldn't get pussy.
Yeah.
And was like, how can I brainwash?
Get pussy.
Yeah, and yes, and the only way is by tricking and manipulating women into doing it. But dudes be a part of it too, and I don't. And I'm like, there's just so many layers. I just don't understand.
But that's cult leaders. That's also dudes that invent electronics and things that make our everyday lives better.
To get pussy.
It's all dudes that don't get puss,
Yeah.
that are trying to get it, and they're like, I just need to impress this one lady.
Yeah, I can't even, like, when I go get a new cell phone or an iPhone, I can't, it takes me forever. It takes me 20 minutes to talk to the person that's going to give me the new phone and transfer the old stuff to the new phone. I'm like, hella sus. And they're like, dude, you're in Apple. You have an Apple phone. I'm like, yeah, but I need you to run it down. I need you to run this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm giving you my old
Write it
phone.
down and put your name right here too, so I know.
I need to know. I'm gonna come back. I don't give a fuck. Something shady happens on my new phone. I'm coming for you, Kyle.
Yeah. Genius Bar Kyle. I'm coming for you, buddy.
I mean, speaking of cults, I feel like Apple does feel like a very big cult in general. It's like this.
Yeah.
But we look down on people that have Androids, and we're just like, well, I'm better than you. I know stuff that you don't know, and it's not true at all. It's not true at all.
I've done it, dude. Anytime my buddy's like, I look at his phone and he does something weird with it. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, get a. And I can't be in a fucking group chat with you because your thing is green. It's just like weird, dude. I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah.
Get a normal phone, dude.
It is so funny too, because like the Apple presentations too, like those feel culty when they're releasing the phones. And we like those of us who have had the Kool-Aid, me being one of them, like I'll watch the thing like, oh, what does the new phone have? And it's like, we have an Apple Pencil. We call it Pencil.
And it's
the
like,
fuck? It's a pencil and you call it Pencil? Holy shit.
That is brilliant.
Anytime
and dorks that are there live are clapping like, yay!
For me, it's your jeans, though. If you wear like weird jeans I've never seen and you're presenting something at a TED Talk, I'm out.
like Steve Jobs.
Yeah, like his jeans threw me off. I'm like, where the fuck did you buy those? They look like
Costco, Dave. Costco.
Like,
that's where I got them.
They're Wranglers. So yes. He got them in a bin at Ross. Because he's too busy. He's too busy to be bothered with picking out clothes. I don't have time. So I wear, that's his thing, is I wear the same thing every day because I don't want to be bothered. I don't have time. That's what peasants do.
Oh, that's why? Okay, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I don't have time to pick out clothing. Are you crazy? I'm changing the world.
As soon as I sell these phones and I'm able to get puss, then I'll get better jeans, Dave. But until then, it's Costco jeans for me.
I like that he calls it puss. It's a nice alternative. Because sometimes I feel dirty saying pussy.
Old Italian men say puss a lot too. Like or young, I hear a lot of Italians say puss for some odd reason.
Nice.
Yeah.
Puss.
Some that puss. Wait, Dave, you're Muslim, right?
No, I'm.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's I get mistaken a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, is it Muslim or Muslim? What do you? No.
It's Muslim. Yeah. I've said Muslim too, and then Ramy's been like, why do you say it like that? So they actually they made me retake a bunch because I said it wrong. They're like, can you say it right? And I'm like,
and you're like, well, what did I say? And you're like, you said Muslim, and you're like, well, what is it? And they're like, Muslim. And you're like, well, what did I say? I don't see how that's different. They're like, we need to read.
That's what I said. Muslim. Dave, we
Wait.
need you to say Muslim. Muslim, that's what I'm saying.
Do you practice a religion, Dave? Did you say, or did I don't know.
Yeah, I pray at night. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not super religious. Like I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna infringe on anyone's behavior. You know what I mean? I won't be like, this is God's work. Like I'm not gonna be one of those people.
Yeah.
But I'll pray at night and I'll go to church if I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was only asking because I wanted to talk about Halloween, and I know some people don't fucks with Halloween because of like.
Oh, we fuck with Halloween. Yeah, we fuck with Halloween. I'll never forget it. Bless her soul, my grandmother, she passed away a long time ago, but she took us out for trick-or-treating with our parents, but not even like our first 4 houses down, she decides to come up with us. I don't know why till this day, but there was apparently a guy on hiding in the corner, like in a costume, but like a terrifying costume, but he was still. And then when he just popped up and went boo, but it rattled my grandmother that she fell down the steps. And I still think it was hilarious that we made her walk. Like she didn't go home. Like we just continued the route. Like we picked her up.
What a soldier!
That was her first time though.
No, it's just this whoever this old person was like boo, and then she like screamed in Arabic, and I remember her just going,
"Mamma mia!"
Like,
sorry,
damn,
I'm doing Italian things now.
Not Arabic.
I know I'm doing.
There was a lot of time. It was right before Little Italy, so you're kind of correct. It was like a block away.
What a G! She got up and kept it moving.
Yeah, I feel like when you she is it. She used to wear jewelry and shit. She used to be all flashy. She taught me. No, there was these bulk bins at this grocery store, and she's eating from it. I was like a kid, and I'm like, oh, can I? She gave me some, but the place caught her. They're like, ma'am, what are you doing? And then they're like, she's like, nothing. And she's like, ma'am, did you just steal that? And I remember her pointing at me.
She snitched on you?
It's on me, and I kid, you know what I mean? But I get it. She don't want to do the bid. I was a juvie at that time.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you got a kid. The kid doesn't know any better. Blame him.
Yeah.
So your stop snitching campaign started with your grandmother.
Started with there. I was like, I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna snitch.
I don't want to be like grandma. I'm not gonna snitch.
She's filthy, man. Your grandma was filthy.
But we love Halloween though. To like we do celebrate it. Yeah, we love it. My youngest niece, Katie, she loves Halloween. It's like her favorite holiday, and she gets so jacked when it comes. She gets jacked when she'll wear costumes and take pictures, but she like poses in the costumes like she's with it. She loves it.
Are you an adult that dresses up for Halloween?
No, no.
Yeah, that's a personality. Like, I don't know. I'm not friends with anyone who I don't think so. That dress.
I know some people that do it. Yeah, they talk about it even leading up to it. It's great.
Are they gay?
Some are, yeah.
Because that's the thing. No, gay people love Halloween, and I don't know what that's about, but it's a religion for them. It's like pride all over. It's like fall pride.
You just reminded me of the Key and Peele sketch when they were talking about going to the gay wedding.
Oh!
the way you asked that, are they gay? But when do we sing the gay hymns though?
There's a friend, there's a dude I know. Yesterday he was talking about a gay guy. He was talking about Halloween, and he's like, and he was so pumped for his costume. He was like, I'm gonna dress as this, and I was like, but it's done so properly. Like I just don't have the. I guess I just suck at it. I get all flustered. I'm like, I got to face paint. Like I think about the dumb shit that has nothing to do with the costume. I'm like, well, what if it gets wiped off?
Dude,
what if I can't move this way? It's just like I'm a jam up.
Those are valid concerns from an adult. Like I think about those. I think about because it'd be cold too, even in LA in October, end of October, the nighttime would be like in the 50s, and I'm like, I gotta walk outside, and then if I have a coat on, it'll be covering up the costume. So really, what is the point of all this?
Oh yeah.
And you got to put put so much thought into it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have the thought process.
Adult thoughts.
These are adult. Once you get to a certain age.
These are adult concerns.
When
you're in your mid-20s, and you're just chasing puss, you don't care about your costume.
Puss.
Oh. I might, because also it's like what you want to go as. Like people keep clowning me about, they'll say I look like Francis Coppola. Is that his name?
Francis Ford Coppola, but I don't know what he looks like. Let me look him up on my phone real quick.
Like Ronnie Chang is a comic. And, he sent me a video of him talking. He goes, "This is you, man." And then somebody else sent it to me as well.
Francis.
Like a young Francis Coppola.
Let me put young in because you definitely don't look like him now.
Yeah, definitely don't look like him now.
I can't even say you look like him young.
Does he have like a black hair, glasses, a beard?
He does have dark hair, a beard, but facially, I could see, like, you could play him in a biopic, yes.
I think it was probably his hand movements, and I was getting made fun of probably, and I didn't even realize I was getting made fun of. Yeah.
Oh, this dude is ugly. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I can kind of see a resemblance, but it wouldn't have been necessarily my first go-to.
I appreciate that, man. It's always that or Dave Attell. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with that assessment as well. I'll find one for you. I'm gonna find somebody that you actually look like, because I'm actually pretty good at this. I'll find mine definitely will be insulting. It'll be like a Muppet or some shit.
I look like Gonzo too. Someone sent me a picture of Gonzo. Said, "This is you, bro."
Has anyone ever told you you look like Snarkle from the Dark Crystal? I just made up a word. That's not even a name. Wait, what was I gonna ask about Halloween? Oh, I wanted to ask if it was, is it like, do they go hard in Canada like they do here in the States with Halloween? Is it about the same?
Yeah. Like we go hard, just as hard on most of the holidays. Our Thanksgiving is a different month than yours. Christmas we go hard Halloween. It's all pretty much the same. We have President's Day? No, we don't have President's Day. So
New Year's we
go hard.
I'm kidding.
Well, we never could go as hard as you. It depends on what you're talking about, like how extreme you guys are as Americans. So I don't know if we'll ever match the extreme behaviors, but we go hard.
What was your favorite Halloween candy, and does it still hold up?
Somebody gave me, I don't know if this candy's in America. It is, yeah, O. Henry, and I just fucking lost my mind because I thought they were rich because they gave the full bar. I go, this is insane.
Oh yeah, the full size. That's why you got to go to the nice neighborhoods, because you'll get the full size candy.
Full size, and I was like, that's my favorite, and it still holds up. I'll have an O. Henry at any point, yeah.
Okay, I need you to describe the O. Henry. Okay, I've never had one, and we got to wrap up after that, and I'll ask you, Mal, too, the same question. But so start thinking about your favorite candy. But the O. Henry, only reason why this candy bar means anything to me is because it was in a Seinfeld episode. There was a woman, Sue Ellen Mischke was the character's name, who was famous for never wearing a bra, so they called her the Braless Wonder. But she was the heiress to the O. Henry candy bar fortune.
I like that.
Yeah, and I was just like,
O. Henry.
What's in that? Nougat?
It looks.
No.
Yeah, it's nougat.
Chocolate and then nuts, I guess. I don't know.
Peanuts.
Yep.
I'm looking at it right now. Peanuts, nougat, caramel. It looks like.
It's pretty standard.
It looks like a Snickers. It's like a Snickers bar, kind of.
I feel, to me, it's a little bit lighter. I don't know if that's going to make sense than a Snickers bar.
Not as dense.
Yeah. The nougat is like right down the middle instead of being the whole bottom.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this time to say that I don't agree with nougat. I think that it's just filler because they were being cheap and didn't want to put a better ingredient like caramel in there or some type of chocolate cream. Have you ever had nougat by itself? It's trash.
I don't even know what nougat is.
Exactly, because it's trash. But next time you get an O. Henry, just take a little piece of the nougat out and taste it, and it doesn't taste like nothing.
Yeah, I just learned about gluten like years ago, and I was like, that's enough for these words. I need a break. You just another one. I'm like, I can't. Just don't tell me what's in this shit, man. Let me just eat it in the future.
I love the enunciation. You said the gluten.
Yeah, I still don't even know how to say it. I was just like, says the
fine.
word, I'm like, you're fucking up my shit. Anytime someone goes, there's no gluten in it, I'm like, you're fucking it up. Now it probably doesn't taste good. Just keep your good behavior to yourself.
Mal? Did you have a favorite? I know you didn't really do Halloween too much when you were a kid, but around, I mean, did your mom at least buy like candy for you?
Yeah, Reese's peanut butter cups all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
And then my new one, like that's like the all-time, that's the GOAT. That's a Michael Jordan of Halloween candy. The new one for me is Take 5 bars. Those are like the shit. It's a pretzel with peanut butter, caramel. It's like salty, sweet. It's like the shit.
Yeah. Salty, savory, sweet. That's the jam right there. I'm just like, I haven't had a candy bar in so long. Like I can't
live
even
your life, Candice.
Yeah, you gotta have one.
Have a vegan cheat day.
Oh, I had a vegan cheat day yesterday. I went ham on some vegan pizza. It was delicious.
Nice.
Look at Dave's face. He hates everything I just said.
No, I just can't. I can't
everything
do
I just
vegan pizza. I remember somebody made us walk 10 blocks to get vegan pizza, and I wanted to.
No.
Yeah, I can't.
I know what you're talking about. I did not eat pizza because I knew once I switched to being vegan, because I had been disappointed by every fucking vegan pizza I'd have. And I'm like, there's nothing good about this. And once in that memory, I would like to just keep the memory that I had of real pizza. But I found out there's a place in West Hollywood called Pura Vida, and it's an Italian joint. And it had a regular restaurant there, like on Santa Monica, and then right next to it, they built a pizzeria. So now they expanded, and their vegan pizza, fucking-licious. And I wouldn't just say that. It's delicious. Like you can barely tell, like, oh, this is not real cheese. It might even be real cheese. I don't even care. Just don't tell me. But I would highly recommend. That's what we had yesterday. It was very good.
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
Okay, I'm telling you, I won't lead you wrong. I know you people. I get really mad when people try like vegan stuff, but they didn't try good vegan stuff, and now they hate veganism. Yeah. But I'm like, you gotta try the right stuff. So let me be your vegan Sherpa.
Okay.
Go to RFD.
If I knew what a Sherpa was,
get the nachos.
I would be down. I don't know what a Sherpa is, but I'll take your word for it still.
Wait, I have one last question before we get out of here. It's also food related. Somebody said, oh, I was watching the Great British Baking Show. That's another one of my favorite shows to watch. And somebody did a recipe and they had a flavoring of sherbet. What happened to sherbet?
Sherbet?
It's sherbet. You're pronouncing it wrong. No, see, you don't even know what it is. They don't have sherbet in Canada?
No, they probably do, but I mean, wait, you get this at a nice restaurant? I don't know. What is it?
No, it's like ice cream, but not. It's if I had to describe it, I would say it's kind of like ice cream and sorbet had a baby.
Oh, I thought sorbet was the same thing.
Yeah, no, sorbet is more icy, but sorbet it's like fruity flavors, and sherbet is the same way. It's like fruity flavors. Like there's no chocolate sherbet. But
sherbet, a frozen dessert made with fruit juice added to milk, cream, egg white, or gelatin.
But remember, like, sherbet would be everywhere when we were kids, and now I would see it at the grocery store, and now I haven't. When she said that flavoring on that show, I was like, what happened to sherbet?
Yeah, I might have had it. Anytime someone explains ice cream, I'm like, I can't. Like, just give me the stuff that's bad for me. I want the stuff that you don't.
Well, no, I mean, you heard the ingredients. Sherbet, it's not good for you.
I'm looking at it now, and I haven't seen it in a long time, and it does not look good for you. These are like fluorescent colors.
Like sorbet is more natural. Sorbet will have like actual little fruit chunks in there, but like it's yellow number 5. Like no, that's not.
I mean, I'll have some
sherbet. Sherbet looks like Play-Doh.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I like Play-Doh.
I used to want to eat Play-Doh, and they did that on purpose. They made that flavor or whatever that smell is, and it's a secret. They won't reveal what's in there because they know what it does to people. I want that. All right, guys. This has been fantastic. Thanks so much for joining. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, make sure you do that. We're on all podcasts. I don't know why I got very like professional and very like I'm a teacher now. Make sure you subscribe. We're on all podcast platforms. Rate and review us on iTunes. That really does make a difference. And and on YouTube, subscribe there as well. My personal channel, I'll be posting a link. And if you haven't told someone about the struggle, make sure you do that. You can find me on all social media, Jokes by Candice. One more time, Mal, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at malhall.com, at malhall on social media. And I just started a GoFundMe page for faster internet for my friends that I'm leeching off of. So if you want to, Dave, where can people find you?
Donate.
Dave, Merheje, on all social media. And then Beautifully Anxious is a podcast I do with my co-host Phibos and a real therapist. And we just talk about
nice.
health. It's called The Beautifully Anxious on Apple. Yeah, so check that out.
Fantastic. Make sure to go there and check that out. And make sure to watch Ramy on Hulu.
Yes.
All right.